good performance. He's been one of the standout players that to me has been just so important if they want to win. And shalfey's entries are just nuts as well. So if those three can kind of come together, then I think forZe could still have this. But I think map 3 here should shape up to be another very close one.
Yeah, it is going to be all or nothing time for forZe as we get into Dust 2. Things are going to be truly spicy. Eternal Fire starting on the CT side of things, as forZe look to correct some of the mistakes from Inferno. They'll need a big start here. They'll need something to get the momentum going their way. And with 2 smokes and 3 flashes, they're going to head over towards A long early.
Very fast as, well, the P2000 of woxic tries to cross the pit. He doesn't get any sort of a chance to do so. Up with a flash of Jerry, a pick then from the P250 as well on towards the man on the long corner. And, well, within seconds, this round already is put in favor of forZe in a 5-on-3. Smoke on the corner. Xanthars, that's actually a really nice pick. They needed at least something to work with here before just conceding the bomb site. And, well, they don't really plan to concede it, apparently. They attempted to get that boost up to see if they could hang on. Imor from over on short is actually going to pick off the head of Norvi as well. And, well, it's come down to a much better position than it was looking to be in a few moments ago. They've got a 3-on-3. They've got equal health pretty much between shalfey and Xanthars. So this is doable, but it's not going to be easy. Those Glocks up close and personal. And as they walk out through the crossfire, it's just impossible. Kenzie with 2. Shalfey, rather, with 1 more as well. I was like, is it Shally? I, for some reason, couldn't make out. I forgot whether it was a double L or an F in there. And, yeah, couldn't make it out. My eyes are too bad sometimes. Either way, good round by forZe. It looked like Eternal Fire almost had it, though. That retake, the initial picks, despite having, obviously, a really bad start into it, they just played it out better. The confidence of the individuals is night and day in comparison to what we had, not only in the first map, but in the first half of Inferno then as well.
Tags exchanged in the early contact. woxic chunks it, and we're able to respond on to Zorte. Zorte will get the better of woxic on the second time of asking. The opening man advantage, it's a laboured one, but it is found. Was able to get it done, and now with one of those scouts gone, yes, there's a tag onto Zorte that makes the Deagles a little more effective, but nobody else tagged down yet. forZe start to set their traps, grouping up in the upper tunnels. Couple of players still lurking in mid, a late holdout A-long from Kenzie. The timings are going to be everything here, because there's a lot of CT presence not very far away from that B-bomb site at all, and they're starting to gamble it, they're starting to stack up. What looks like it may well be the right site, may well be the right call. 50 seconds left. Xanthars starting to have a little bit of a poke, and he's going to tuck himself in. Shalfey takes another tag from the scout. Has to back away from it. That's a lovely nade over the top, trying to force him off the mid angle. He gets a tag, but no more. Norby will take him down. And now this B split to come through. That's a lovely little flash. xFloud doing what he can. Hits the first quick scope. Needs a lot more. Xanthars chimes in with one of his own, but it's only the tags from these scouts. It's not the kills they so desperately need. Calyx will make the rotation in with everybody one shot to the body. This Deagle, it turns into an AWP, but forZe are aware of it. They just bunker down in this site. If you want this round, you're going to have to come and take it from us. And unfortunately with that, with no early pick, and with knowledge of maybe a couple of players being tagged, but not a lot else, Calyx will find the first headshot, a lovely one at that. The bomb already halfway ticked, however, makes this one very improbable. And you can see forZe just trying to work out the safest way to exit at this point. They're going to hightail it out of the upper tunnels. Calyx will grab himself a Galil. And that will be that. Second round on the board. T-side starting as it means to go on, but it's expensive again for forZe.
Yeah, very much so, and honestly, it looked like it could have meant maybe even a little bit better. Unfortunate for xFloud that he ended up kind of just weirdly sprinting through the window as he took that scout shot. I think he thought there was more players coming in on him from mid, and well, that wasn't quite the case. They were focused around tunnels at that point, as well as the, obviously, player that was at door. Either way, though, the round goes the way of forZe, and as long as they don't drop multiple players here again, then it should be one that they can quickly brush away from their memory. Long control as well early on will be found. Preferable when you have those AKs, keep your range, you know you're up against the weaker weapons, and should set them up pretty well for a round here, although losing the, I was going to say, tunnels control could be a bit of an issue. Calyx, that is a really nice find. It's going to give his teammate a Mach 10 as well to work with, and it forces forZe to very quickly start moving forward. They do not want to sit back on long for too long while those weapons start to rotate over. And, well, they could end up having some trouble moving quickly into the pistols. We'll have to see what can be done. Eternal Fire. Hoping the spam on the cross as the smoke for now covering the vision, and, well, Molly's been put in place as well. Stop those rotators from really being able to get a lot done. Calyx, though, with that boost, was at least good for a kill on towards the bomb planter. And with that delay at an extra few seconds, Imor now with the retrieved Galil is going to take out kenzie. And this is actually getting really dangerous for forZe.
Always got to stay alive on site. That's really the key at this point. Xantares spamming through will be taken away, and what a reaction from Norway. Transfers, buys Zorti that little bit of breathing room he needed. He didn't need much, he needed just a little bit, and that's exactly what he gets. 3-0. It's expensive every single time of asking, so as the rifles come out for Eternal Fire, this early back and forth still hangs very definitely is the word I'm looking for. It's a long old day in the balance. Zorti's still on that scout as his opposition gets the AWP for the first time, and, well, was looking for something very aggressive early on. A 4-man play into the upper tunnels. kenzie again trusted to solo A long. Early rotation this time actually coming in from Eternal Fire, bolstering that B site, and it looks like the right call because forZe, with 4 players here, are starting to queue things up. xFloud with a little bit of spam through. That nade will get some good work done. Jerry ahead of it, though. Out ahead of the flashes, and he's got an absolute field day. Fully blinded up. Nothing xFloud can do. Imor alone on the site, but Xantares and Calyx finding critical kills. Shalfey somehow alone. It looked like Jerry had the keys to the castle. Instead, he's been left at the gate. There's Shalfey. Yes, he's got the B bomb side, but he's being flanked out all the while. He knows he needs a kill here. He grabs one. Down to 35 HP with it. 1v2 to contend with. That bomb in plain vision of those tunnels. Wide open. What can you really do if you're Shalfey? He's grabbed the bomb. Smoke to give him a little bit of breathing room on the back, but again, so little he can really do. He's going to try and plant the bomb inside the smoke, be a little cheeky with it, gets it down. That'll be the economic booster. But Calyx rips his head clean off. Of course he does. As soon as he's in, Eternal Fire have their first. They open things up. And look at the economy over on that T side. It is not as established as it could be.
No, considering they got the 3 rounds, obviously a good bit of damage sustained in that previous one as well, so, well, they will have enough for the buy. As you mentioned, Jerry's a bit low, they won't have anything really left over afterwards. If they want to get the op, it would be Glass Cannon as well on towards Norby. Actually, no, sorry, Zorti actually just about had enough, I didn't realise that somehow. But, yeah, he makes that work. Unfortunately, as I said, no armour behind it, no nades either. Not sure if he's rocking a strong spawn. Doesn't look like he's just in towards the middle of the pack, so he'll be bringing it in towards the alley here. Nothing too special being done. But they will still try and move for a long control, where there's a 4-man stack from Eternal Fire. So it's going to be a heavy clash around long. Jerry's the only man actually to push out for control, and he's going to be just pinned in behind blue. There's nothing really that he can do anymore. Taken out by Calyx, and as they start getting ready to move up through short now as well, a massive gap in that smoke is going to leave them exposed to the off of woxic. And Imor in towards the spawn then as well. Pops at least one head before going down. So a 2-on-4 with kenzie on low health. It's not looking like forZe are going to be able to get much done here. You can admire the change in pace. Wait, hang on a second, because maybe if Norby gets this kill onto B, there's a chance for that bomb plant, and then for an after plant to be played out, but he takes, I think, a bit too much damage.
kenzie is key. If he can get a kill, timing looks the wrong way, and woxic puts him down. If he gets a kill there, then they've got to clear out mid, and that buys an extra 10, 15 seconds, where maybe they can do something with it, but just doesn't quite work out that way. kenzie not able to get it done. Norby on 24 HP, left 1v3. Calyx will surely clear him in due course. Tries to play the trigger discipline. They're not watching. Oh, Calyx, there was a world There was a chance, but it doesn't quite land that way. woxic gets the defuse in. The second round is internal fires, and, well, it breaks the economy of force, so an opportunity to level the standings here.
Yeah, they very likely will. A few eagles at least being pulled out, but yeah, I mean, it can be tough to really get things going with the pistols on Dust2. It's not all that easy to just rush your way into a bomb site. If you want to head B, it's through tunnels where, well, without Kevlar, you kind of just get destroyed by the mixture of the nades and the spray, of course. Well, over towards A, you've just a lot more ground to cover, which is also never ideal when you haven't got the weaponry nor any utility. So it's a tough map to get those eco bomb plants on. We'll have to see exactly how this goes down. There's a bit more aggression on short there from Xanthars. I was going to say, if he sticks around, perhaps that's a weapon that they could try and isolate, but no, he backs away, which is probably for the best. Just tried to find the early info, hope to deal out some damage, and really just maximize their chances in this round of keeping things as clean as possible. We'll actually leave a late long lurk here as well.
Gonna be cheeky. See if maybe they can get something going. The problem is you're playing against one of the best aim teams in the world. So woxic and Calyx find two in quick succession. The bomb looks to crab walk its way onto the site. Calyx and woxic still brawling with it. Jerry will take one down. And that will be the plant. shalfey, he'll burn alive for it, down to 30 HP, but they've got the bomb down, and that is only real goal of this round, is to get that. shalfey chiming in with one more, just making it a little more expensive, as woxic and Xanthars will steady the ship. Level things out at 3 apiece. That bomb going down will fund the next round for forZe. Couple of kills, not bad at all, considering how little firepower they really brought into it. Leveling things out regardless, though, and you've got to remember, you know, we're talking about Eternal Fire. They are this T-sided beast, so anything they get done in this first half is huge.
Yeah, in fairness, though, I think with Dust2 now, it is actually shifted a bit back towards that CT side. Sorry, a little bit of noise in the background there. As, again, actually, one player out alone towards long, and it was actually the op. I didn't think Zorte would go all the way out across towards blue with the op in his hands. I think it may have been forced by the molly, but normally it just bailed backwards. Either way, that does not work out for forZe, and, well, the attempt at an early pick instead leaves them down a man. And feeling the pressure to try and make a hit happen, they're going to move very quickly, actually, towards the B split. Molly on the window, smoke towards the door, a ton of nade damage on towards Kenzie, but they've still got the initial opening from shalfey. Emor is not going to be able to do anything either as he gets pinched in on between the tunnels and the door. And well, with Norvey in position to slow down these rotations, they have plenty of time to securely get that bomb planted, and Eternal Fire have already decided that they aren't going to give this one a go. They'll happily save, they'll make sure they have the money to get a drop over to X-Floud. Emor will probably need one as well, in fairness, but they do have the money there for that one also.
Just a little unfortunate. A lot of that damage unconfirmed through the smokes. I think if they knew, they might be a little more tempted, but forZe barreling up into the B site, able to get it done. Able to get it done in quite some style as well. shalfey with 2 big kills in the tunnels. If he doesn't get either of those, then the tunnels remain in CT control. It's done. It's the fact they have to look. It's a 180-degree flick to really get it done, and looking at both of those simultaneously, so difficult to do. As you said, though, this should enable the drops to come in. woxic will drop one, Xanthars the other. That will get the buy going. Still, that T-side economy hangs so dangerously in the balance. Just around in it. It's been back and forth from the get-go. Neither team been able to really wrestle control of the situation. Double up setup still available for the CT side, of course. woxic takes an early leg from shalfey. Took the AWP off Zorti based on spawn, and it's resulting in long control. 4-man lean at the moment for forZe as just Norway probing into the lower tunnels. What's the response from that CT side? Smoke onto the corner. They're looking to retake. Flash over the top. There's a man close on it. Molotov goes in. He flashes himself round this corner. He's spamming through the smoke, and he's getting a lot of purchase. Zorti and Kenzie both tagged up as he retreats away. It's not the kill they would have wanted, but it's a nice start for for Eternal Fire and forZe, actually, as they start to really push the issue of gaining that long control.
Oh, yeah, but Norvi actually catches the aggression in towards tunnels. Emor is going to come back in for more. And, well, Will at least managed to trade things. It wasn't looking certain as Norvi did have his crosshair on it. Looked to be initially prepared for the re-aggression. Xanthars is going to go in towards short now. Lines up two of them, but can only actually find the one kill before being traded. And now woxic with this up on the bomb site has to worry about multiple angles coming in on both sides of him. Falls back to the deagle and actually will end up having the help of Calyx to get that kill on the bomb site, but he doesn't stay alive. In the end, either way, it comes down to Zorte in the 1-on-2. And, well, he knows he has a player pinned in. I think he's aware of the op in towards the CT spawn as well, as he goes for the peek on towards Emor initially, hoping for the quicker reactions to work in his favour. But no, Emor is posted, and, well, even if he does go down, you have the player who's ready to swing for the trade immediately. We're tied again at 4-4. I said I hoped that this map here would be the most, another very competitive one. Maybe not most competitive, because obviously Inferno ended 16-14 in the end. But it does seem like it's shaping up to be maybe the most back and forth.
Always thought it would be this way. It's a brawl of a map, and woxic continues the fight. Early pick as he swings out middle. 3 players peek that door simultaneously to make it impossible. xCloud through the smoke finds another. Shalfey goes down. And this goes very quickly from bad to worse for forZe. 2 picks. They can't say anything about. Re-smoke into the tunnels keeps them out of it even longer. Nothing being given to them. You can see both guys, both CT sides, sites just turtling. 2 men holding the tunnels on B. 3 holding that A site. They have to go B. They have no choice. They have no control on A. They don't really know what's gone on in mid either, so they'll look to explode out of the tunnels. Missed shot initially. Norway, he spotted xCloud, but he couldn't land it. Spam through the smoke, not connecting. Pot flash to try and get them out. The spray is brilliant, though. xCloud's got 2. It's a done deal. Norway, 30 seconds. Can you even get that AWP saved away? It's going to be a difficult one to achieve. Eternal Fire will take the lead. And oh, Norway, you're in trouble, mate. Pinned in, they know exactly where you are, and with all 5 rifles up, they won't mind going on a little bit of a hunt either. Oh, he has to try and stay alive. 10 seconds left. They may even let him go to after time here as they start to group Calyx and woxic together. I thought they were going to really hunt this, but they don't look so keen. They don't look quite so sure. Well, we will be allowed to save the AWP, but it's Eternal Fire who have the lead and have the economic break that they've been working for so long.
Yeah, and I mean, although obviously they got things going back on Inferno as well, it obviously was not this early that they were able to find a lead for themselves and they were able to really start finding some momentum. Another massive positive is the fact that Calyx is performing really well right now. It seems like even though you may not get everyone stepping up in a single game, they do have that versatility where someone can step in if someone else is having a bit of a slower performance. I've got to say though, big pick from Norvi considering he has the only rifle in play for forZe right now. Took it based on the spawn over towards long and, well, with a nice little find on towards Zorte actually, on towards woxic rather, actually gives Zorte the other up now to work with. So this could get awkward for Eternal Fire. We were kind of singing their praises a moment ago, but the round just begins to crumble. It's falling apart. Jerry and on mid's going to get one on the deagle. Off the back of, again, a pick from the op off of from Zorte, rather. Got smokes down to cover off for a plant for now. Xanthar is hoping to molly them out of position, but yeah, you can't really do anything about this. And honestly, saving could be worthwhile, but I don't think they'd really be given the chance to even go for it if they wanted to. As you can see, Shalfey takes those Xanthars. He was already committed in behind the smoke. xCloud at least does get the op and should make it away here, but I was gonna say it seemed like the player towards the spawn was considering a bit of a hunt, but they've decided to just back off. forZe are happy to take a round win with 4 alive.
I mean, considering what they brought into this round. This could get really spicy. This was the opportunity to stabilize things, to calm that economy down, to get something going. Instead, as Eternal Fire take the timeout, it's the Deagles who shine again for forZe. They keep themselves in it. Does mean they're on a double AWP setup, which is by no means ideal for Dust2 on the T side, but they can make it work. They're determined to try and make it work.
We're tied again. I said this is going to be back and forth. It's exactly what we're getting. 4 ups in play as well, which is going to be a very interesting clash here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, obviously, for Eternal Fire on the CT side, but on offense, it's not quite as common. I guess, though, if there is really any map where you'd go for it, it would be here on Dust2. Definitely not a completely foreign concept. Either way, Jerry going to charge out long. We've seen quite a few times already this early play to try and get the man in behind blue, and honestly, it never really has worked out for them. It's a very standard play, and yeah, normally it is a good strategy to get that early control, but at the moment, it's not working for them. They've gotten a player into that position and he's died like 3 times.
He just consistently is being punished for trying to go out blue. And again, forZe find themselves battling from the back foot. Again, with that opening man advantage gone. The way of Eternal Fire, it becomes so difficult to get anything going. This double up setup is working wonders when it's not exploited on the B site. You have to say, shalfey going for a wander out, seeing if he can get anything, but again, the fact that they've saved 2 AWPs onto this T side is making life so difficult for them. Almost impossible. As they start to line up this execute, because they're going to be entrying 2 AKs, and behind that, double AWPs. Here we go. Molotov's utility out. They try and make the execute happen out of short. Xantares gets the first. The spray down's good. 30 seconds. He's got support on this cross, and you can see with this double AWP, there's nothing they can do. Woxic picks off Norway. Shalfey will trade, sure, but Xantares is still right here. Shalfey trying to get the kill, but he's got bomb on his back. Has to go back again. Zorti trying to back his man up. Lands the first shot. Needs so much more from there, and as Immel takes out his teammate, it's all Zorti. A 1v3 asked of him. Has to be proactive with it, and that is his undoing. Eternal Fire will regain the lead once again. Their double AWP setup will be saved and continue to do damage. And this back and forth, well, long may it continue. Neither team able to wrestle control of Dust2.
Yeah, just one either way. It's the way they keep on going at the moment. I mean, in theory, if forZe can trade it back, it should favor them a little bit with them being on the T side, but the moment Eternal Fire, they're looking really, really good, and well, if they crack through right now, then the economy of forZe will be gone. They'll have the chance to actually start extending this lead, because while they've had it a few times now already here on the CT side, it hasn't really had the opportunity to create any sort of a gap and to firmly actually hold it. Again, though, they do want long control. This time, not jumping the early player out towards blue. Instead, going for the later peek with the flash out through the smoke. And it actually works better for at least a 1-for-1 to come in. That is not a bad result. The only problem is now that they've put all of their eggs into the one basket here, pretty much, with all 4 players locked in. That's allowed for the flanks to come through. Although for now, they're sending 2 players over towards the tunnels. They've made a weird call on this one. This could be an issue if woxic and Xantares aren't able to go huge, but they find one each. And immediately, Jerry and Zorte, as you can see, are just too timid, I suppose. I was going to say too shy to peek in. Fear of the up.
They're stuck. Woxic's got them on lock. Xantares with that big double spray down, bailed out his AWP, and he rewards him. He rewards him in a big way. Eternal Fire find their 7th. They find the stability that they have been craving. An opportunity now as the economy breaks for forZe to get something done. Tech 9s. Eagles for forZe. P250 for Shalfey to see if maybe he can get a little bit of something. We'll wait and see with bated breath what they can get done. 3 players into the tunnels. Nothing much else. Nothing much else at all. Little to nothing that they can do about it. Smoke in. Fake the idea that they've gone up short. Creep into those lower tunnels and see if maybe, just maybe, they can catch something, a timing. A little bit of noise. Any kind of cue to give them an opportunity. There's still 2 players bunkered into those tunnels. Nobody in mid as the smokes come out. Norway taking a ton of damage. As 4 players queue their way out mid. This is going to be the B split. 4 players starting to make their way up. They're trying to get in, but it's just a slaughter. Xfam looks the wrong way for a split second. That opens it up. Immor alone gets 2. A turret on the backside before he's taken down. Just about gets enough. That should entice them in. They know that the rifles will have been recovered, but there's a lack of Kevlar. Zorti looking across. It's spotted and dealt with. Xantares gets it done. And Norway is left. 1v3, low HP, missed shot, punished, and that will be it. An 8th round on the board. Eternal Fire really starting to stretch their legs now. Eternal Fire looking stronger and stronger as the game goes on, just as 4 start to fall apart.
Starting to, unfortunately for forZe now, separate out a bit. They need to try and at least crack out one more round, unfortunately, here for themselves. I think to bring it up towards 6 to be in a position where they can be at least complacent, I guess, with the half. I wouldn't say necessarily happy, because again, things were looking much better with the early back and forth actually working out for them. Since then, they've been kind of missing now for a little while, and again, the player out behind blue, it's going to be kenzie, and he's not able to get anything. I mean, this seems like deja vu, really. This early long control just has not worked out whenever they only commit the single player to it. To see what the backup plan is. Yeah, I'm genuinely not too sure. And it's not like the rest of the players were busy getting tunnel control or mid control or whatever. They were kind of chilling outside long.
Oh, he goes for the creep out. Gets 1, but Xantares is wise enough to trade it away. Lined it up. Still able to connect the spray. The 4A1S a little easier to rein in. Man advantage maintained, and as they start to creep their way up to A, there is a lot of CT presence here. woxic dropping his utility, buying himself an angle and picking Jerry off as he looks to cross. That's the freebie. Xantares deals with Zorti. Lovely stuff from Eternal Fire. 9-5. Eternal Fire looking so clean on their CT side, and this has to set alarm bells ringing for that T side of forZe.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it throughout the series that it's the T side where Eternal Fire tend to do better in general on most maps, and it is slightly the case here on Dust2. It's only like 52% or something, but I mean, that's pretty impressive since the map has itself started to shift a little bit more towards the CT side, obviously with the M4 change, with the change to the map itself. So the fact that they do still tend to slightly fare better on the T side is impressive. We'll have to see though whether they can end it with double digits or if forZe have that little bit extra in them to bring it towards 6 at least. As this nade a bit too deep, I believe. Yeah, not actually going to land any damage at all. Either way, Norvi slightly tagged up in the early stages. The health does very slightly favour Eternal Fire, and well, that doesn't last very long, does it, Wolfie?
It does not. Quickly traded down. Look to execute up short. They're not messing around here, forZe. They have not got any other info, any other presence. 4 players up short, 1 late in the lower tunnels. This is going to be the A hit. Utility comes out. Molotov buys just a little bit of time, a little bit of room. Nades go in and do so much damage. Everybody tagged up. 4 players, 1-shot headshot for the M4s. And here come forZe. Execute starts to line up. Utility drop. Nades does more work. Missed shot from the AWPer. That opens it up, but Xantares shuts the door with a big AK headshot. Jerry goes down. woxic looks to swing again. The man advantage is there, but kenzie plays the gaps in the smokes to perfection. forZe are not done yet. 4 on 4. They're in awful afterplants. 2 of them stuck towards the site, but they've managed to escape a couple players out. Norway stayed in those lower tunnels, and he has sat there like a rock. He'll start his flank now. This timing is going to be everything. 3 players swing out. Floud reads it, gets the flanker. And that tags. Those damage may start to become everything. The spray downs connect. It's double digits at the half. Eternal Fire with 10. And they are on their way to surviving this lower bracket. 6 rounds required. We'll have to see if they can get them after the break.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back.
An impressive first half for Eternal Fire, you have to say, and an opportunity to finish it now. 10-5 up, heading onto their favoured T side. Huge chance just to shut the door. Flashes and smokes as they're going to go out long. It's going to be a brawl yet again. 3 players ready to face, and oh my goodness, I thought they were going there. Instead, they've held off. They're waiting for aggression, and nothing is coming from forZe.
Yeah, not for now. forZe themselves as well, just going to kind of continue to stick with this setup with the heavy focus on towards long. One player in on mid who is spamming towards short. He's not going to land on any of those players, but he wasn't miles off. Won't be aware, but gives them at least a few warnings as they get themselves ready for this push over towards A. The problem is for forZe now, they've actually rotated another player in towards middle. They've taken the gamble here to just keep the long control and, well, pretty much give up the bomb site. Unless Norvy's able to pull off some miraculous shots from the long corner, but it's a dangerous position, honestly, to stick in. So he does decide to start backing away. Jerry, on the other hand, decides it's a good time to sprint over towards ramp and gets a really strong position to set them up for the retake.
Looking to try and just take the fight straight up. Immor's dealt with the first. kenzie and shalfey, though, immediate response. 2 clean headshots, and they know where everyone is now. Xantares somehow gets another from behind Gandalf. And that may well be the decisive kill. They've still got to clear him out. He's still fragging out. Xfloud chimes in, and that should be the day done. Shalfey, he has the kit. He doesn't have any armor, and he's just being chipped away at every time he swings, every chance he gets. It's just a player in his face, and woxic will be the one to put the final bullet in it. 5 more rounds required for Eternal Fire to take out forZe, and they started the right way on their T side of Dust2.
Yeah, exactly how they need to. Worth noting, of course, Sprout are currently waiting for the winner of this match. That match will be played in about an hour, so there will be a little bit of a break between the games, but not a massively long one. Pretty much that the matchup, the next one in the lower finals, rather, the lower finals in general will be ready to get going pretty quickly after this one. It's obviously only one spot though that everyone's fighting for, so there's still a pretty long road ahead of whichever one of these teams manages to actually get it over the finish line here. Looking likely to be Eternal Fire unless forZe find a bit of a last push, I suppose, in their form. kenzie flashed in, not able to land. He gets, I believe, only 1 onto the body of Emor. It looked like there definitely should have been a lot more for him there, but it is going to be Zorte now on the scout who gets the work done, taking out 2 and actually assisted by a team flash, I believe, that came over. And now the MP9 of Jerry just going to strafe around the edge of the smoke, spraying down Emor. Doing a slight bit of damage here to Calyx, allowing for Norvy to follow it up. So there's the bomb, there's a 3-on-1. Xfloud's all alone, and, well, the force buy from forZe is working.
Somehow they make it sing. Nothing Xfloud can do, surely. No, shalfey will put him down. Gap starts to narrow, it breaks the economy. Eternal Fire. Will their T side finally betray them is the question, as we do have a pause coming in, of course we do. Really couldn't have it any other way. It hangs so finely in the balance, this series, at the moment. If Eternal Fire had won that, if they'd cleaned it up, it was job done. It was absolutely job done. GG. forZe would have been gone instead. A huge round from Zorti and Co. That scout singing for the headshots. We saw him nearly rescue them on Ancient May. He managed to do it on Dust2 against Eternal Fire. Of course, this is the lower bracket. It's do or die every time you get into the server. Sprout awaiting the winner of this matchup. We will be covering that one over on this stream as well, so don't worry, you won't have to go anywhere to continue catching the best of the action. As we do, just take a minute. Everyone takes a little breather as we look to get these technical difficulties resolved.
It's our first of this one anyway, so being fairly fortunate, I suppose. We had a pause in map 1, I think. Other than that, though, it's been pretty smooth. The teams haven't been using a ton of their tactical pauses. We've been getting one every now and again, but they haven't really been... you get some games, rather, where you'll have a team kind of chain a few together and such. We haven't had any situations like that. We had a... Was it you and me casting some Premier there a couple of weeks back where a team kept getting onto 15 and then calling multiple pauses?
No idea, mate.
I think it may have been a game I was covering with Retro. It was a bit of BM. I think it was the Sinners versus Finest game. They got to 15 and they were like 15-10 and they called like 4 pauses in a row. So it's pretty BM, but I like it. As you said, though, we're in a bit of an extended pause here. Hopefully not one that's going to leave the two teams sitting for too long. Neither of them, I mean, wanting to sit around. forZe obviously just won out a force buy, so they'll want to try and keep up the momentum off the back of that. And Eternal Fire, they don't want to cool down after what's just been a general really strong performance from them.
Just waiting out some packet loss at the moment.
It's unfortunate. Doesn't seem to be an internet restart or anything, so...
One of those things. We just have to chill. Take a deep breath. Hopefully the internet will stabilize sooner rather than later. And we'll get back into the best of the action, of course. Everyone just taking a deep breath. Because we've said it before, there's only one slot for Anaheim in this entire event. So every game is do or die. Sprout taking out Sinners. Knocking Sinners out. That's a team I expected to go very deep indeed. And just not showing up to the party today. 16-11 on Inferno. Losing 16-3 on Nuke to come back and take Mirage 16-10. That is a performance and a half from Sprout, and it just goes to reinforce what we're seeing right here, that this level of CS is just unreasonably competitive.
Yeah, and just very difficult to predict in general, as you said. I mean, just the kind of sway in the scorelines in that series is insane, from the 16-11 to a 16-3 back to another, I guess, relatively competitive map with the 16-10, as you were saying. It's a bit of a mad one. I do believe we're getting towards the end of this technical pause, at least, so there won't be too much longer left for us to sit here. But yeah, obviously you don't want any internet issues in this case. You'd much rather sit it out, wait a few minutes so that everything's going to be working smoothly, because obviously this is the lower bracket. Final map of the series. Loser here is eliminated and won't be able to make it to Anaheim, and in turn won't be able to use that to qualify to the EPL Conference Season 16. There's like 100k as well on the line as well, so the prize pool ain't too bad at Anaheim.
It's not too bad at all.
Here we go. It's a rough buy though, as you'd expect.
It's never going to be pretty. These third round forces, it just gets worse and worse as time goes on, really. Text, Eagles, woxic on a Glock, Scout for Emor. woxic's the only one who hasn't invested, knowing that in a couple rounds he'll want to get that AWP out. Knowing that hoping for something in this round is a little bit of wishful thinking. Managed to tag out Shalfey early, down to 60. But not too much control to really speak of here. One man deep in CT, couple on B. Long control taken by the CT side. Everyone for Eternal Fire grouping into mid and then starting to make their way towards short. Just waiting. Hoping for an over-aggression. Someone to peek too keenly. So far being given none of it. Now they look to explode out. That smoke timing is nasty, but they won't respect it. They'll go straight through, and here we go. Setting up for the mid B. The nade tags away at two of them. Pop flash out the door from Kenzie. He's got to stay alive here. Got to provide the supporting cast to Shalfey as they charge through the smoke. It's 2, 3 in quick succession for forZe as they lock it down. The perfect round. Calyx gets 1 just to make it that little more expensive, but it's only the MP5. forZe will not mind.
No, they'll be fine with that casualty. Clean round otherwise. They keep all the rifles obviously standing and, well, should be able to do it once again, or at least will be aiming to do it once again here up against another weak buy from Eternal Fire. So very likely 8 on the board. They get that next gun round up towards 9, and, well, at that point then things really are beginning to close in. So you can see a couple of gun rounds really will allow for forZe to get themselves right back into this game. But Eternal Fire, we'll have to see what they're able to do on this T side once they get the economy going, because for now, obviously, they're stuck on Glocks. No Kevlar. There's one Deagle, I think, actually. Yeah, Calyx has gone ahead for a bit of an upgrade. Considering his teammates are already being shredded apart over in the tunnels, I don't know if he's going to get much of a chance to even utilize it. We'll actually push out towards long. No one's here. It's just a player tucked in on Carbine, Kenzie, and honestly, he should have a relatively easy time tapping away here. He's already got 1. Does have to worry about the Deagle being recovered and potentially peeking him, but doesn't really seem to worry him. He's actually just going to push straight in, catches them boosting up. Interesting approach. He's actually just going to let his teammate now have it since he's got the MP9. But yeah, the boost, I mean, different little approach right there, I guess, to try and make the weaker weapons work out. I admire the attempt.
You may as well do something, right? Like, rather than just running into an M4 with Glocks 1 by 1, they give it a little more firepower, they start to swing. I don't mind it. Doesn't quite work out, unfortunately.
Like a massive transformer.
Yeah, exactly. All 5 of them combined make one big terrorist with like an AK or something rather than 5 Glocks. I don't know. This isn't Valorant, we can't do silly things like that, but the 3-round gap, the buy will come in. They will be able to get those AKs out. Calyx will drop down to the Galil. woxic on the AWP. Double up setup called by forZe. Shalfey again picking up secondary duties, the youngster. As they bait out the initial shot. Kenzie playing with fire there, to be honest with you. If there's anyone you don't want to be doing that with, it's woxic, but he gets away with it. As 3 of his teammates start to queue up short, and this A bomb site is actually currently open. Zorti's on the rotate. Jerry in towards CT, but with 4 players queued up on short. Gonna have to be a little bit careful here. A minute left on the clock. First of the smokes comes out for the T side. That baits the response. Molly comes in. Jerry now near enough out of utilities. Got a smoke. 1 flashbang in support. That smoke now gone as they look to double back. Shalfey, unfortunate not to get the kill, manages to leg up Xantares. As they actually look to change the play. They made the noise on short to try and keep the rotations honest. Instead, they'll try and bait out a response on the B swing. woxic looking for it. Missed shot. Shalfey takes full advantage. Man advantage found as they look to split into this B site. Norway is going to be key. They need this. Calyx will find the trade, and now Norway alone inside of a smoke gets 1. That could be huge. He's managed to drop the bomb with 15 seconds left. He's bought time, but Xfloud's found another through the smoke. There's the bomb denial. 8 seconds. Jerry looking to be the hero. He hears them picking it up. He goes through the window. The spray's awkward, but he gets it. Immor has to stick the plant, and it will be punished. The bomb gets planted, sure, but that is not even of slight concern to forZe. Jerry steps up in a huge way. All 3 kills. Retakes the B bomb site almost single-handedly. The supporting utility there. What a way to get it done. The gap a little narrower. The economy a little more broken for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, what a kill from Norvi, though. Just getting the one, as you said, to drop the bomb. That's what let Jerry have the chance to pull off that 3k in the end. So, good efforts all around from forZe. And, well, they need to continue it now. It's going to be a bit of a weaker buy, in fairness, from Eternal Fire. So, should be double digits. 10 likely to be found for forZe. I've got to say, Jerry, while not being the top fragger by any means right now, he's been impressive. He stepped up back on Inferno when they really needed someone to get going for them to try and pull it towards the overtime. Obviously, they fell short in the end. But it seems like he's been able to keep at least decent form since then, stepping up in rounds when it really is needed, basically. And I think at the moment is going to be stepping his way up mid. Won't move straight towards long, so won't really be getting the flank on, unfortunately. But once his teammates find contact, it should be called over. Well, shalfey on the secondary up, as you had pointed out, is going to find an early pick on long. Even does some damage on the Xantars, I believe. But the Mach 10 just overruns the bomb site. kenzie falls. It's the ops now that need to get all of the work done. And so far, they are up to the task. They're able to meet the demand, leaving only woxic standing. And I don't know what's happened to his gun.
He's on a Glock, and he's managed to still dink up Zorti.
Where'd his gun go? Haven't.
I have no idea, mate. I'm going to be honest.
Did he get armor and just not get a gun there? I don't know. I'm just confused. I thought he, at the very least, should have been able to have picked one up. There was a few on the way in. Weird he got stuck with the Glock. Either way, I don't think he would have got really anything done. And now he comes onto the op, so...
Zorti looks to hold it. They're going to go for a little bit of a boost here. And, ooh, timing, Zorti. Opts to back out. Everyone just slows to a crawl. Nobody wanted to be the one to overextend to make the mistake. Zorti flashed off. Fires away a shot. Doesn't connect. X-Cloud legged up in the meanwhile by that secondary AWP of shalfey. Has to back away from the B site. Pressure up short. They're going quicker this time. Looking to up the pace. Missed shots from Jerry on this occasion. Xantares takes full advantage. Already out. And woxic's able to pick Jerry off as he looks to make up for the mistake. With the gap at just 1. The damage is in, but the plant is 2. And a double AWP retake of this A site. It's going to be attempted. shalfey not able to connect the first. Immor takes full advantage. X-Flab chimes in, and this is feeling like it may well be done. A missed shot from woxic. The nerves starting to show, but on the second attempt, he won't. Norway only able to get the 1. The lead extended once again by Eternal Fire. The back and forth continues. There will still be a buy. The economy is brilliant for forZe. They will still look to hold on here. But Eternal Fire at the critical moment start to show up.
Indeed, and cleanly as well. They don't allow it to be a close round. They don't drop too many weapons. They keep it in a position where losing this round, while it would obviously still be a massive detriment to them, it wouldn't completely ruin the economy, leaving them with 0. And, well, that works out for shalfey. Immor was going for the jump peak back in towards suicide, and the place kind of lives up to its name. In that case, I'm very surprised he didn't actually spot the initial peak. It was on a slightly more passive angle, I guess, and it works against him. So I'm not too sure if that's one he's going to be using again. We'll see, though, what sort of recovery now can be brought in from Eternal Fire, because they don't want to let forZe immediately just return back with a round of their own. Zorte actually didn't land what was a pretty decent opportunity on short, I've got to say, right there.
Feels like the fatigue is starting to settle in just a little bit here.
Yeah, he slowed down massively compared to what we had in the early maps.
Xantares tries to just run boost through a smoke. No utility. Zorti takes advantage. 3 on 5 now. Eternal Fire really starting to feel the weight of this series, I think. Couple of odd decisions being made. Punished as well. Creeping out mid now. Do have the utility to make this execute a reality. Start to smoke off the mid-B split. Jerry will hear it. Start to creep his way down. Secondary smoke comes in. That should give the game away. Even a Molotov. So they start to push their way through to this B site. shalfey still holding the tunnels. It's going to be Norway again. In required a big moment. They jump through. He does get one. Traded away, but shalfey is there. And it's up to the AWP of woxic. 1v4. He's got the first. They're close to him already. You can see Jerry Was toying with going through the window, has to wait that molly out at the very least, but woxic has faked the plant with 12 seconds left. 10 seconds, he's running out of time to do anything about this. He'll get one, it's a beautiful flick. But the trade is immediate. forZe close that gap right down again, and the economy is at buckling point once more for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, it's a bit of an auto moment right now because, as I said, while it doesn't completely ruin them, it does still leave them with some weaknesses into this buy, and, well, if they lose this one, it will completely ruin them. It'll be forZe then likely even gaining a bit of a lead, which Eternal Fire do not want to let happen. They had themselves a bit of a buffer at one point. It's gone now. Ahead, they're barely being spotted for shalfey, and honestly, I think he'd be counting himself a little bit lucky that he didn't lose his life right there, at least if he had our perspective. So it looked like that one was gonna land. woxic, though, he doesn't miss these shots. If it's a slow peek in from Zorte, indeed, it's an easy punish. kenzie considering the follow-up. There's no one posted anymore, but yeah, it'd be a little bit of a risky play to continue on with that. A 4-on-5 now that forZe are gonna have to try and turn around. Taking a bit of a risk to stack it towards long. This one's interesting, and unfortunately, it doesn't really seem like it will be the right decision, rather, with the bomb moving back towards tunnels.
Don't really have a choice. If they don't do it, they lose long, guaranteed almost. You're right, it's going to be the tunnels hit. Norway and Jerry have a lot of utility to stop this. A lot. 50 seconds left. First of the smoke goes out. Jerry has another, and he has a Molotov. With 45 seconds left, they're actually starting to rethink the play. They'll make their way into the lower tons. Calyx has been watchfully keeping an eye on mid. Look, smoke goes out. Secondary smoke for the mid-B split to follow it. They're going to creep their way up short, and these two players who they've kept on this A site the whole time will have to go big. shalfey blinded up, nothing he can do. Molotov to try and force Norway off the ramp. shalfey's blinded again. kenzie gets one, but it's immediately traded, and now shalfey, you can see he knows he's got to have a round. Through the smoke, he's picked another, but the trade is in. The plant is coming through. Jerry, no idea about that close player, and it leaves Norway 1v3 as he collects the first onto Xantares, but it's woxic and xFloud up on the site itself. woxic blinded up, but the shot not quite connected by Norway as he fades away. And Eternal Fire play this smart. They group on the A site. They know Norway's got to come at them. They know the angle he's got to take. woxic misses the first shot, but there is xFloud to back him up. And again, just as forZe look to stabilize, look to get back into it, it slips through their fingers. 13-11, just 3 required for Eternal Fire.
Indeed, I mean, it could still go either way. I'd love to see Eternal Fire versus Sprout, if I'm being honest, but I also wouldn't mind a forZe rematch for them to have the opportunity at a bit of revenge after how we had seen it go down, obviously, the other day. Are we going to get to that stage, though, is the question. I think we had a bit of a game crash, I'm presuming, off the back of that one. That is a little bit unfortunate.
Oof.
Yeah, we'll have to bring it back to worse on camera just for a moment, guys, so hopefully that's not something that's going to take too long to just recover. We'll have to get the game launched back up. We might be missing a little bit of action, unfortunately. 13-11, Eternal Fire looking like they're starting to take some control. When we come back, rather, it could honestly be a situation where Eternal Fire almost have it over the finish line already. Either that, or we're going to be back neck and neck.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see with bated breath, unfortunately, because we have had that crash. We've got no feed, we've got no nothing. But, I mean, we can say it. This is exactly the kind of competition we wanted to see at this level. You know, Eternal Fire and forZe absolutely slugging it out, going right down to the wire. And at this point, it really feels like it's anyone's series, right? Every time forZe land a punch, they land a blow, they get something going. Eternal Fire are there. The response is immediate, it's measured, and they're getting it done. I just want to see. I'm just sat here. I don't know what else to say other than I want to see the feed. I want to see what's happening, man. Of course, HLTV's a little bit delayed as well, so I'm looking over here. I'm like, oh, is the score far enough updated yet? It's not quite there yet. So we will just have to wait and see. But like you said, I mean, we've got Sprout for the winner of this series in the lower bracket, right? And we've seen forZe against Sprout previously, close on map 1, dominant on map 2. It would be great, you have to say, to see Eternal Fire coming up against Sprout to give them something a little bit different in this lower bracket. But you can also sell the Redemption Arc, and well, we will have to see which one of the two we are getting, because we are straight back into the action at 14-11. Eternal Fire They did it. They got the big round and now just 2 away. And look at the economic situation for forZe. Couple rifles. An MP9, a Deagle, a default pistol for shalfey.
Yeah, that's not fun. I didn't actually notice he was still on towards a USP. Obviously, they aren't really investing here, but the problem being they're going to have to go ahead and concede a 15th round, most likely. We did miss a bit of action, and I had said it could be Eternal Fire ready to take it over the finish line by the time we got back, and, well, that's the case currently. They're definitely set up for it, although an early kill here from kenzie gives a bit of hope back. Maybe they can still make this one work. I would like to see now that M4 being maybe given over to Norvi, though, just because he also has Kevlar, and, well, the extra health, it would be a bit more useful in this scenario. Sorte obviously with an M4 of his own as well, that may still be yet to find some impact. Norvi actually didn't realize how heavily he'd been committed up close on the long doors. He was getting forced out by the molly, so he wasn't really in a position for the weapon trade to come in. So for now, it is still in the hands of kenzie. And it's going to remain there as he gets a bit more aggressive up closer, expecting, I guess, a bit of a short push to come through off the back of the smoke. And considering the time, whatever push is coming through is going to have to come in pretty damn quickly at this stage.
They've got to get it going now. They're trying to fake a mid-B. Nice catch from Calyx. Norway looked for the info and was punished for it. And now that default USP on the A site on its own. shalfey, what can you do, my friend? Nice swing, but it's not enough. And kenzie, he's got to back away. As you said, so little HP to work with. There's really nothing else to be said. They'll give it a go. As the bomb goes down. forZe need to have a real long, hard think about if they even want to think about this. Alex takes more damage through the smoke, but again, they need these rifles. If they're going to make the comeback to OT, if they're going to try and force that to happen, they need all these rifles. They need everything they've possibly got. So they have to bail. They have to back away. No other choice. 4 players will save up from Eternal Fire. 4 opportunities for them to shut the door and book their spot in that matchup against Sprout. Over in our lower bracket final.
Yeah, looking like it might just happen here. All 3 weapons at least carried over. They had even separated out to ensure that they wouldn't lose everything if the hunt was actually to come in there from Eternal Fire, because they were expecting them to pretty much throw everything at them, as you would, considering we're going into what may be the final round here. And well, alongside those rifles, I do believe they were able to get the drops in as well. Jerry, is he limited? No, he's got an AK for himself. So, yeah, pretty good for forZe in terms of what they've got to work with, but they need 4 rounds in a row. And, well, I'm getting a bit of deja vu to where we had them in that previous map when they were down 15-11 as well. Obviously brought it up to 14 and in the end fell short. This time, can they get it going? Can they even get up towards that number? And if so, can they actually get it into the overtime to keep the dream alive?
That's the question. Fast play out of mid. Zantares. Swathes of map control to be taken, and he's taken them willingly. shalfey, blinded through the smoke, has dealt with the tunnels player, and that makes this mid-B split very one-dimensional, but Zantares adds another clean headshot onto Norway. Immor finds the second, and that's the B site. It's almost impossible to retake. Everybody says it. woxic making noise in mid, keeping them busy in mid. They're going to try and bypass him. They know that's 1 less player they've got to deal with in the site, but it's 1 more on the flank that they've got to think about. 3 on 4. This could be it for Eternal Fire. Jerry probing the window. Immor remains ever vigilant. Not even needed. Calyx gets 2. It's done. Surely, kenzie. Nothing he could say or do. 16-11. It will be Eternal Fire who book their spot in that lower bracket final up against Sprout. And you can't say it's not deserved from that initial mistakes and gut-wrenching loss on Mirage to finish the job on Inferno and then come here and dominate Dust2. It really does feel like a deserved